Hello, welcome to another video of mine. It's Kamal Labele, and this is another Chelsea video of mine, and I'll be discussing the managerial situation. The manager is a topic that I believe it's very important to discuss in this present moment in time. I'll be discussing potential candidates to replace Frank Lampard, the two best candidates that I've shortlisted, Thomas Tuchel and Julian Nagelsmann, giving my pros and cons to each manager as to why they'd be the best suited for Chelsea Football Club. But firstly, I'll be discussing why I am Frank Lampard out and why there needs to be change in the managerial situation at Chelsea. Now, as I keep stressing, it pains me to be Lampard out. I really tried to remain neutral. I really tried to be objective and look at it from a different perspective, different point of view. I tried to give Frank Lampard the benefit of the doubt. But when it comes to a certain point, enough is enough. Now, before anyone jumps on me calling me a plastic or, for being Lampard out, please understand that I love Frank Lampard so much. This is why it pains me to say this, because I've been a massive supporter of Frank Lampard. I'm an ardent supporter of him. I loved him as a player. Him and alongside Eden Hazard, Frank Lampard and Eden Hazard were my two favourite ever players to watch at Chelsea. I love Frank Lampard so much. For me, he is our greatest ever legend. And even if he is sacked, and even if I am Frank Lampard out, that is not going to change my view on Frank Lampard as a player. He will forever be our greatest ever legend. This is for a fact for me. He will be our greatest ever legend for me, because when he first came as a manager, I was able to detach emotions. I put what he did as a player aside, and I essentially just judged him just as a manager, how he is and his managerial ability, because I was able to detach. And this is the problem with the majority of this fan bases. They are unable to do that. Rightly so, it's difficult. They have a lot of sentiment towards Lampard because of what he did as a player. But for a second, please understand, what he did as a player is completely different. We can't give chances to rookie managers. Let's be honest now. Lampard is a rookie manager. He's in his second year of managerial experience, and he's been thrown into the deep end given the Chelsea job. Chelsea is one of the best clubs in the world, or it should be. It is an elite club that's won major trophies, the most successful club in English football in the past 15 years. And you're giving the job to an inexperienced manager who's only had 1 year of managerial experience. Like, we're not a charity. What he should have been done is what Gerrard did with Liverpool. Gerrard is currently managing at Rangers. He's gaining experience, and once he's ready to manage a top club, he will then manage Liverpool one day. This is what should have been done with Frank Lampard. You cannot give Frank Lampard the managerial job in his second year of coaching. I was against this initially when he signed. I gave him the benefit of the doubt. I backed him because he was a legend. I backed him because I wanted him to prove me wrong. But unfortunately, that is not the case. We've spent £250 million in the previous summer window, the summer window that just went. And we're 7th or 8th, depending on results tonight, we're 7th or 8th. It's not good enough. We're now 9 points behind the top of the table. We're now closer to Arsenal than we are to the top of the table. It's not good enough. It's not. What happened last night is simply unacceptable. The performance, the intensity, the tactics, the formation, the fact that he's playing, players out of position. When Sarri did that, he got blamed for it, and everyone ignored it. Everyone ignored the players, and everyone went straight to the manager. Keep the same energy for Frank Lampard. And I think that it's been too long now that I cannot accept it anymore. 3 defeats out of 4 is diabolical. And it's not just these past 4 or 5 games. It's last season. I know we got top 4 last season, but I made this point before. Last season, he was very lucky. We were very lucky, in fact. The rest of the league was very poor. Bar Liverpool, the rest of the league was abysmal. Even Man City had a poor season by their standards. And we scraped top 4 on the final day. We bottled the FA Cup final. We ended the season empty-handed. I know with the circumstances, no Eden Hazard the transfer ban, but we entered the season empty-handed, bottled the FA Cup final, scraped top 4, and we had a magnificent summer window. And this is where I thought, let's give Lampard the benefit of the doubt. Let's see if he can prove us wrong. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case. This season we've been poor. Title race has been thrown in the dustbin. We're not going to win no title, and we're going to struggle to make top 4 at this current rate in this situation. I'm seriously interested to believe what Roman Abramovich and Mourinho Sky are thinking in this moment in time. And it's not the fact that we're just losing. This is the issue that I have with a lot of fans as well. It's the performances. Even when we're winning, we're not even playing well. We played West Ham beating 3-0. We played poorly. That was not a convincing victory. Brighton on the opening game of the season, we won 3-1. We should have lost that game. It's not just the fact that we're losing. We're playing poorly as well. If we were losing, but I was seeing progression. I was seeing a pattern of play and identity forming. I was seeing some tactical, tweaks and changes that Lampard was implementing, deploying in the squad. I'd give Lampard the benefit of the doubt, and I'd give Lampard time and resources that he requires. But he's been given the resources, and I still don't see an identity. I still don't see a set pattern of play, and I still see the same rookie errors that he's persisting with every single game, week in, week out, and we're not seeing anything. And as Albert Einstein once said, if you persist with something, if you continuously do something over and over again, and it's failing each time, that is a definition of insanity. He's doing the same thing all the time. You can see Timo Werner is not a naturally gifted footballer who can play out wide and dribble past three men. Yet he still plays him there week in, week out. If I can see it and you can see it, how can he not see it? You know, we're not coaches, we're not qualified managers, we haven't done our coaching badges, but if we can see it week in, week out, surely Frank Lampard can see that. You can see that Pulisic is not strong on the right wing, that his best position is down left-hand side. So why is he playing there? Why? It doesn't make any sense. You need width, you need wingers in a team. But he plays Mason Mount and Havertz on the wing. Why? You've got Callum Hudson-Odoi ready-made on the bench. He's our star boy. You saw what he did last night. You saw it. Giroud, he's been playing well. What has Tammy done? You know, in yesterday's game and in the past few weeks. You know, these changes, you can see Reece James and Ben Chilwell struggling with their injuries, yet he still plays them. Where is the logic? It doesn't make any sense, and this is the problem I have, and it's been happening for too long now. It's not 1 or 2 performances, it's not 4 or 5 performances, it's continuous performances since he has been appointed as manager, and that's why I'm Frank Lampard out. Now moving on to the candidates of the manager, Thomas Tuchel and Julian Nagelsmann. Now my first choice would be Thomas Tuchel. Thomas Tuchel, now he is a bit risky. He hasn't lasted past 2 seasons at any club he's been. He's done fantastically well at Mainz in the Bundesliga, keeping them up. He gained, he got Mainz to 5th place when he started his managerial career. Hence why he got his move to be the Borussia Dortmund manager, where he allowed the development of Pulisic, Aubameyang. He won the FA Cup version, the German FA Cup version in the Bundesliga. He won some silverware. He promoted the likes of Aubameyang and Pulisic, and then he made his mega move to PSG, where he got PSG to their first ever Champions League final. He's the most successful manager in Ligue 1 history. He's won the most trophies at PSG than any other manager. He's the most successful manager, and he guided them to their first Champions League final. Now there is some political issues behind the scenes. You know, he's been sacked, I know, recently, but they were only 1 point off the top of the table, and there's some political reasons as to why he was sacked. I wouldn't look too far into that. You know, Marina Gunn-Sky is a huge fan of Thomas Tuchel, and I think that he'd be a fantastic appointment at Chelsea. I think that, you know, Pulisic's already worked with him, so he has that fantastic relationship. He would love to work with Callum Hudson-Odoi, and we have a world-class talent that Tuchel would love to play with. German internationals and Timo Werner, Kai Havertz, and, you know, Tuchel is German himself, so he can get the best out of them. The attacking abundance and talent that we have, the defence that we have. He's already worked with Thiago Silva as well. There's so many pros with this, and I think there's so many minimal cons. You know, he's got the managerial experience. He's a proven world-class manager. Again, he hasn't been at a club long-term, which is the only negative. But again, with Chelsea, we never do things long-term. So that's a completely different thing. Now, Julian Nagelsmann, it would be my second choice. Julian Nagelsmann, again, worked with Timo Werner, German international himself. He would get the best out of Timo Werner. That is the main strength he'd have. He'd also get the best out of Kai Havertz, and with the finances, resources, and the attacking abundance, just like Thomas Tuchel would have access to, Julian Nagelsmann would also have access to. Julian Nagelsmann, very, very young, adept, very well known, done fantastically well at RB Leipzig, got them to a Champions League semi-final last season. He's guided them to the round of 16 of the Champions League. He's done fantastically well. He's done really well in the Bundesliga in the past 2-3 seasons. He's shown that he's tactically adept with the positional play that he's got, the movement, tactically as well. He's proven it. He's beaten top managers in big games, and he's proven it on the highest stage in the Bundesliga and also in the Champions League. And I think Julian Nagelsmann would be an excellent appointment if we did sign him. He would have been my first choice. It would be Thomas Tuchel, but I think Julian Nagelsmann would also be an excellent appointment. But those are 2 managers I would love at Chelsea if we did sack Frank Lampard. Now, my position on Lampard, would I sack him right now? No, because we're heading for the January transfer window now. There's literally no point to sack him. Top 4 is still achievable. What I'll do is essentially, keep Frank Lampard until top 4 is mathematically impossible. Once it's mathematically impossible, then we sack Frank Lampard, and then we get an interim manager for the remainder of the season, and it allows Thomas Tuchel and Julian Nagelsmann to get a proper pre-season in summer, so we can really look forward and ahead for next season. That's what personally I would do. But what do you guys think? Leave me your thoughts, opinions in the comment section below. Who would you rather, Tuchel or Nagelsmann? Leave me your thoughts, opinions, and I'll see you guys for my next video. Peace.